or where my mom would say, oh, this thing is trying to come in, and then she gets possessed, right? And then it's just like frustrating. So at first I get really scared. Like, I get scared as a kid, you see your mom, like, you know. And then as it happens many, many times, you get frustrated because it would happen like during weddings. Hi, my name is Hafiz.
My name is Raihan.
My name is Wayne.
And my name is Kyle.
And this is Tales from Incredible Tales. Together with some very special guests, we're taking a look back at Incredible Tales, a horror anthology that aired on Channel 5 from 2004 to 2017. We will also be asking them some of their very own scary stories.
Our guest for this episode is Hafidz Rahman. Hello,
Hi.
Hafidz. Whoa!
Oh, what an energy. It was all pretense. Hi, my name is Hafidz Rahman. I was being asked to do it. Paid to do it.
He brought the horror energy to him, like telling ghost stories like, hi!
I cannot, like, because if I get too intense with it, right, then it messes up with my head. So I just need to like go from a space where it's, you know, very happy and chill.
Happy. Thank you. I'm quite sure you've pretty much set the tone for the rest of this episode. You all know what to expect from here on.
So Hafiz is currently an arts educator and a working actor who has worked with the theatre practice, Checkpoint Theatre, Dream Academy, Theatre Ikamatara, and also Theatre Kami, amongst many others. He has a podcast that aptly titled The Podcast, which celebrates everything Malay, while also dedicating a fair amount of time to horror stories too. In his free time, he dresses up as a makcik for laughs.
You're obviously like a household name in terms of horror in Singapore because everybody listen to Berhantu, and then you will go into your tangent about I think I hear something. Then I will be like,
Terrible.
Hey, faster lah, don't scare me anymore. It's like, but I love it. Then it's like, wait, my cat just like meow and something.
Because I record, I don't have a studio, right? So everything is very guerrilla style. Everything is in my bedroom. So of course you get people going, walking at the corridor, you have my cat scratching at the door.
You sure people?
People lah.
That's an extra effect.
I don't need additional stress. It's people.
Yeah. So anyway, in every episode of Tales from Incredible Tales, we will explore a different theme and how it ties to some classic Incredible Tales episodes.
Nice.
So for this episode, just for you, Hafidz, we're looking at black magic and curses.
Ooh!
Yeah.
Favorite.
He's got stories, okay?
Favorite.
Oh, we will have time for those. This episode's theme was inspired by The Bequest and The Heirloom, both from season 2. The Bequest is a story from Malaysia in which Nora, a city girl who lives a decadent life, goes to her home village to see her aunt who's dying of a mysterious illness. The Heirloom is a story from Indonesia. A newlywed young man moves into his father's house to take care of him against his wishes. The young man gets disturbing flashbacks of his childhood involving a bloody kris.
Yeah.
Keluar kamu daripada perempuan ini. Keluar!
Jang, jang, jang.
Yeah.
So Hafiz, do you remember watching all these episodes?
I did. I remembered watching the Pelicet episode about the Tok Wan. That was an episode I remembered watching.
How does it feel? Like, does it bring back some memories to you? Or
I think walking into this space, I think the first thing that struck me was that picture over there. Because I remember that was like the premiere, right?
Yeah.
It was in 2002, right?
Good memory, yeah.
This is the first episode. This is the first episode. I think this was at Sungai Api-Api, right? About a house.
Yeah.
So that was something that I was very fascinated with because a friend lived in Pasir Ris nearby Sungai Api-Api. So she had stories to tell.
Yeah. Now, Hafiz, you have covered a couple of horror stories in your Berhantu podcast. So, what do you think of the portrayal of black magic right here in these episodes?
When I was growing up, there wasn't access to, movies and all that, right? So this was all I had to watch, So as a kid, I was very impressed lah, you know. And then, of course, as you grow older, you're like, okay, so it's actually quite sanitized lah for television.
Yeah.
But when I was watching it, I remembered, I remember being creeped out
Yeah.
a few times.
Right.
But it's the soundscape. The sound always sells it. you know.
yes.
Yeah. Which is why when I do my podcast, I don't put in any sound. Like, because I try to flip the horror bit. Like, I think people get creeped out when there's silence. So I play a lot with that. Yeah. But yeah, I actually, I wouldn't say I believe, but I've heard many stories of essentially what they call a sucker, like
Yeah.
that we pass down generations to generations.
Yeah.
Sometimes unwillingly.
Yes.
Actually, most times unwillingly. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, who wants to keep a sucker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, you know, when you are at that stage, when you're about to die, but you can't die because the thing is still with you, you're desperate to just hold on somebody and just unwillingly pass on.
Right.
So there's this, I've heard stories where if there are people who are like that, try not to go near because the moment they touch you,
Yeah.
that thing might just pass,
Yeah.
transfer. It's like a transfer automatically.
It's transfer.
Auto transfer,
by touch. Or a lot of people always have this thing where when you go and visit someone who's really ill, don't be very ready to say yes, okay. You know, sometimes like you just want to placate them, you know, and you really can't hear what they're saying, but you just go like, yeah.
Because they might just go like,
Because that is you saying yes, okay, come, give it to me. Yeah, so just have to be very careful, you know. I mean, these are just things that we grew up listening, you know, from our parents. Yeah, sorry. So I was just reminded of a personal family story. So I've never seen any ghosts before ever. Okay, I've maybe smelled, I've maybe had like, you know, tingling things where I feel like someone's watching me, you know, that kind of thing. But I've never like seen one like face to face. The only thing I've seen is from a third person point of view where I've seen my mom gotten possessed. Okay, so I remembered before she got possessed, she would say things like, this thing is trying to come to me. And as a kid, I'm like, what? Don't make it scary lah, you know. I try to rationalize it. So in Malaysia, we say like, benda ni nak masuk. Like this thing wants to enter, this one to enter. And as a kid, I was like, no, I wasn't a kid lah. I was probably in my teens. I was like, I don't understand what was it. So my mom would get like pains in her body. Like she would get like really like numbing pain. And she would always take Panadol, you see. So then I'm like, need to stop because you cannot be dependent on paracetamol.
Yeah.
So she always say, no, because this thing is coming in. Until one fine day, I remember I was watching television. I think I shared with you guys. My mom said, close the door. I said, why? She said, there's a white tiger trying to enter the house. And I'm like, Shema? What tiger? She said, there's a white tiger outside trying to come into the house. He's hungry and he wants food. I said, what food does he want? It was very, very specific. Kapo, chalk. They want everything laid out on a banana leaf. They want sirih, which is tobacco. They want pisang, which is banana. So it's very specific. Like they said, this thing needs to be fed because it hasn't been fed for a long time.
wow.
So he's looking for its owner to feed him, you know. And I happen to think that out of all my uncles and my aunts, I think my mom may have, I don't know, but I think my mom might have gotten chosen to take on this sucker because it has happened many times. It has happened many times where my mom would say, oh, this thing is trying to come in. And then she gets possessed, right? And then it's just like frustrating. So at first I get really scared. Like, I get scared as a kid. You see your mom, like, you know. And then as it happens many, many times, you get frustrated because it would happen like during weddings. The thing with sucker is it protects your family, right?
Yeah.
So whenever something happens, that thing is activated to protect the family. So I remember I was hosting and I was with Zohairi, the other makcik. So we were hosting this wedding, and then someone said, "Oh, yesterday someone stole money from the bride's house, but don't know if it's a human who stole the money."
Okay.
Wow.
So then my mom heard that story. My mom said, okay, nothing, whatever happened. And then I was about to go back to the wedding dais with Zohairi, and then my mom just did this. So this is like her
Signal
that she's coming. She said, it's coming. So I'm like, I have got no time for this. I have to go host. so I went to host, and then as I was hosting, I could see at the back of the wedding, my mom started to do silat lah.
Oh dear.
She silat like in front of nobody. She just went like, who are you? Why did you come? And I'm like, And I get very stressed because, people are very weird. Like people would record everything,
Yeah.
And I have people recording, and then it's my mother, I do not want my mother's face to be online, whatever.
Yeah.
And my mom is like, just not being herself, of course. So she was silat and she was like screaming at the car park, empty car park. Why have you come? Like, cakap kenapa dia datang? And I'm like, oh shit. So I told Zahari, I said, can we wrap this gig up? I need to go back to because it was my cousin's wedding.
Yeah.
So I said, I need to go back. And then because she has gotten activated, okay, so this is like, So there were a couple of makciks in the event itself, who I think have that. So then you have like dueling makciks.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Wow.
Intense. So my mom is silat, and then you see one makcik doing this. I'm like, what is this? Airbender? Is it what?
So two lah. There were two lah.
Wait, two, and then there was one more who came.
Oh
there
my
was one more who came, and then she just went like that. She just went like, what's happening? What's happening? But then her eyes are closed.
Wow.
And I'm like, huh? So it's like a domino effect, you see?
Yeah,
When one thing is activated, the rest just comes on. Then I'm like, okay, too much. So there was one point of time where my mom fainted, and then we had to carry my mom to the bride's house, and then it was just 2 hours after that of trying to get the thing out of the body, But the thing with these things is that once they enter your body, it's like they mark your body, right?
Yes.
So then it's very easy to come in and out. So then my mom is very susceptible to it. Thankfully now, my mom is okay. I remember that time we were living in a rented flat. It was at Circuit Road. And Circuit Road is like a lot of alternate chaplau, right? A lot of old people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was once my uncle came and my uncle said, hey, this place a lot of things. I think I told you guys the story. So there were 2 kids playing outside the corridor. So my mom was doing the laundry. Auntie. The uncle is thirsty. The uncle wants to drink water. Okay? If I ever told you this, okay, so my mom's like, which uncle? No, the uncle inside the staircase, he's very thirsty. And my mom said, what's the uncle wearing? The uncle got the cotton bud inside the nose.
Oh.
And it happened like 2 p.m. And then my mom said, just tell your uncle that I got no water. So just things. And the best part is that my mom said, I remember going to his funeral the day before. Yeah, and then like in that house, I remembered doubled with the fact that my mom is susceptible to these things.
Yeah.
So she said like, Chua, like she'll just run out from the kitchen. And I'm like, what happened? Do you not see the 2 kids running outside?
Yeah.
I'm like, who got kids? Yeah. It was also in that same house that she said, close the door, the tiger is outside.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Has she gotten rid of it? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't think she or one can really get rid of it.
Yeah. This is tough.
Can you?
I think you can. But I think it takes a lot.
A lot.
So on my mom's end, she has gone through many sessions to sort of fortify her body so that this thing doesn't come in. And the only thing that the ustaz will say is like, don't stop, don't miss your prayers, whenever you can, just zikir and all that, just
Say your prayers and all that. Yeah.
Do you have suspicions of who passed it on to her? You don't have to say who, but
it's pretty obvious lah.
Yeah lah.
I probably think it's from my late grandmother, because I've heard stories of my late grandmother when she was pregnant, like 6 months pregnant with a full belly, just lie down on the floor on her tummy, like a crocodile.
Oh, yo.
Yeah. So you see, when this thing has taken over you, you can do non-human things.
No,
Like, your touch can be magical, right? Maybe
Yeah.
kind of things. And the reason why I ask is because if let's say if it's still there, then
Who's the one? Who's
Yeah.
The next one lah.
Yes, who's next?
That's the question.
That's
lah.
the question.
So can
I didn't
one,
apply for this.
can one say that the Sakai is jinn, right? Is it considered?
I would say it's a jinn lah. Yeah, definitely a jinn lah.
Because we got one story from Indonesia that one of our readers actually submitted.
Yeah.
She got it. The father passed to her. The father didn't die, but the father passed to her. But it's a curse. So she can maintain it. But if she don't maintain it, the money will drop. The wealth lah.
The wealth,
Yeah. So can you consider it like a form of guardian spirit? There's neither good nor evil, just there lor.
Yeah, it definitely, because what happened is, from what I gather, my ancestors, they travel, right? They travel, right? We travel, go to this place, by ship, So, in the past, people are not really in tune with their religious side, right? So to them, it's like everything is okay, as long as it's protection. So go to this one place, take this thing. Go to this one place, take this, So you end up having a lot of things, and you do not know because after 30, 40 years, you don't remember taking these things. Right? But the thing is still latching onto you. So then it goes to the generations and generations. So I think that's where it all starts, You can't really play the blame game here because you didn't ask for it, and you didn't say yes to it also. It just happens to be there.
Worst case scenario, this thing cannot be removed because you have to find the person who first put it in, which probably has died.
Troy has passed away, yeah.
This one reminds me of the kris because I've heard stories from my parents that the kris, once you stab somebody and the person dies, the kris holds a spirit or bound to it. The more lives that the kris has taken, the more stronger the feng shui of the kris is.
Oh my God.
Which there's something bound to it. So a real kris that has stabbed somebody cannot be played around because sometimes when you touch a knife, usually we have this, my parents usually say that when you see a knife, you don't touch the blade just to see how sharp it is because it will definitely cut you.
Right.
The blade has its own
life
to cut you because you're testing me. So imagine a kris that has stabbed many people. Don't play around with it.
Wow.
And that's why these days, weddings, they don't use the real kris.
The wood one, right? The wood one, right?
That's the wood one. They use the fake ones. But the real kris, they keep it somewhere. So those people who keep real kris long time ago by our, pahlawan and all that, they really want to make sure that it's saved from anybody here. Because if anyone ever open up, wants to explore, things will happen to you. Because you may not be strong enough to hold the kris, You know what I mean?
Is there, I'm just asking to both of you, is there kris that has killed someone or stabbed someone, drawn blood, essentially, that's still around?
I think
I
so.
would imagine, yeah.
Family heirloom, right?
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
And I know of a few pakciks who have a kris collection. I'm not close to him, but I know of this gentleman in Singapore who is a kris. You guys can look it up. He's a kris enthusiast. So he knows a lot about kris, like the different, what does the different blade means, the shape, the history behind this kris. And these kris are not cheap. I would imagine that it's actually very expensive because it has lasted through generations.
It's just antiques already. This
These are antiques.
Yeah.
And to add on, right, this kris also has to be maintained.
Correct.
If they've been used for many times to stab someone, to kill someone, it has to be well maintained, or else that kris is not going to live at peace. It'll haunt you back. You're the owner.
Yeah. So sometimes they would do rituals they would smoke it because jinns feed on smoke, right?
Right.
So, they would asap the kris and all that.
Kris,
Okay.
sharpen it, even though if it's not in use, and all that stuff.
Have you seen an actual kris?
I do.
I have.
But I've never
Like
done
used
touch.
lah.
No.
No, as in like not used. As in you've seen a kris that was used before.
Yeah. But it's just looking because I remember doing something with Malay Heritage Center, and then they were just interviewing this gentleman, and he brought like maybe 4 or 5 of the kris, and he was just showing us like the different types of kris. And I looked at it, I was like, interesting, very intricate, And it's like some of it is like made with real gold.
Oh, wow.
So it's really like quite solid.
So is it like a taboo to not touch a kris?
For safety reasons first, yes. But taboo, I would imagine don't. Wouldn't lie. I wouldn't. I personally wouldn't, and I would encourage you to not just indiscriminately just touch things that you don't know. Yeah.
So for Carl and Wayne, what's your personal take on black magic?
I want to hear Carl's first.
Walao, why? Because I'm half Thai.
That's a quick assumption,
No lah, I'm kidding.
No, but Thai black magic is intense. Intense. Like I heard of this thing where, and please correct me if I'm wrong. When we talk about black magic, we always use it to just disturb or just to scare. But Thai black magic is like if they do it to you, it's meant for you to die.
Death curse.
Yeah.
There is a
seriously?
death curse.
It's like to mati to die.
But
it's not to like play anymore.
But I think because the Thais, they are mostly Buddhist, and it is a karmic cycle. So they believe that if you use black magic, it takes a part of your soul. so you go straight to hell. So you don't go to heaven because you're actually committing a sin. So it's an ultimate sin. So yeah, you may get what you want, but yeah, you're not going heaven.
Yeah.
So it's very dark. Simple things are like love potion, that those are I think quite common. I'm thinking like death curse, summoning a spirit or a demon. I think that one is next level, and there's not many people that can do it.
That ties into my answer also, because like I don't hear so much, and thankfully I don't hear so much about black magic and curses. Like and I suppose it ties into what you were saying, where not that many people are at that level where they can do it. So maybe that's why it's not so common. But the kris thing also, I had no idea about that literally until today.
Yeah.
I mean, and the episode itself, but that's about it. So yeah,
It's an extreme lah.
It's an extreme, and I think that's what makes it scarier.
I feel like it's an extreme thing. Like, I mean, not to victim shame, but like you must have done something really nasty to the person who's doing a curse onto you.
Yeah.
Like death curse. Like we're talking about killing someone. That is extreme.
Correct.
Yeah, that's why I feel like it's very rare. But not say don't have lah.
But it's like, I mean, you and I have had this discussion before of, what's scarier, people or spirits, and the fact that the curse originates from a person.
People lah.
Yeah.
Definitely people.
So that shows like that malicious intent to it. It's like, it's not like you accidentally offended a spirit or something like that. It's somebody set aside like resources and time and all this just to get at you. So stuff like that, like even though I don't hear as much about it, it still, what little I hear about it scares me just because of that maliciousness.
How evil people can be like. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Has any black magic happened to any of you?
Wow. It's a very chill question.
I like how both of y'all went,
But no,
No, because
I don't.
not to my immediate family members, but extended family, I have heard of black magic happened. I mean, it's essentially black magic lah, because so what happened was there was a murder that happened. So my grandmother is from Medan, right, Indonesia, and one of my distant relatives, he was a young man and he was going back home, and he was murdered and he was stabbed to death. I do not know. And he was a doctor in training. He was training to be a doctor. His whole family is doctors. Mother and father is a doctor, so they I mean, naturally they want their offspring to take on the same professional undertaking. So he was being murdered and he was left to die at the roadside or the bushes whatsoever. So then the family cannot reconcile with that, right? The family wants to know who did it, because a charge can only be taken if they know who's the one who did it.
Yeah.
And the police are, sorry to say, but like the police in other countries are like quite plus minus, right?
That's a good way of putting it.
Very plus minus. So they had to call upon the spirit. So here's the part where I'm like, a bit like, even though it's family, it's like, why would you do that? They call on the spirit of the dead boy, the deceased, to inhabit. So then the person who's there just said, oh yeah, I was walking and then I was being stabbed by this person. So he was saying names and all that. But then it dawned upon me like, should we believe it wholeheartedly? Because, then that spirit can just be saying like different names just to mark someone else who's probably is innocent, you see? Because we know that these things lie and deceit, right? It's been written in text, in religious text and all that. Their job is to sesatkan, anak Adam, or like for a direct translation is they are meant to
stray you away
from the truth, right? From the child of Adam, right? So that's their motive, So then you really have to take it with a pinch of salt, But they did that ritual where they call upon the dead person to inhabit the body to tell everyone what's happening. And the police is there.
Oh my God. That's interesting.
Yeah.
But
So like take testimony from a possessed person.
I was about to say, are they taking notes? Like what?
But then like the Thais, the Indonesians are very spiritual, So for them, it's probably more real and more true.
Yeah.
As compared to us, For us, we really like, cannot. It doesn't work with SPF, right? For them, it's like maybe it could, because it's a village and all that. So perceptions and mindsets are very different.
Yeah.
And this happened like maybe 30, 40 years ago. So
Did they catch the
times
guy?
are different. They did. I mean,
Based on the
spirit.
Right.
But I did. That's where I know the story until. That's it. I didn't know what happened next, but it was
Interesting.
something happened. It was the one who told me was my mother. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Because I read out about stories in the Chinese culture. I think more of ancient China. If let's say someone gets murdered and they cannot solve the murder, right? They won't call up the spirits to ask. What they will do is that they will turn the deceased into a vengeful spirit by dressing he or her in red. Red, paint the nails red, everything.
Yes.
So the deceased will come back as a spirit and go and basically find the one who caused the death. Yeah, more of a direct approach. You go and settle lah.
Yeah.
Because they have no way to solve the crime, what?
Like, people commit suicide in rape.
Oh yeah, that one is
It's like they want to be the one coming.
They want to come back, but same thing is a karmic cycle. They go to hell
Yeah,
because it's the ultimate sin, one. You kill yourself is the ultimate sin.
that's true.
Of course.
Yeah, so yeah, the karmic cycle. It's interesting.
So in the episode, right? So most of the episodes, there's the psychologist, Dr. Melgill, the very popular person.
Yeah.
So he appears and says that he gives rational explanations to it, and then he says that, for example, the mind starts to look for bad things to happen.
Yeah.
When, let's say, in rituals such as the kris are not followed. So what do you think of that assessment, of the rational assessment from him?
As a kid watching Incredible Tales, whenever his segment came on, I was very frustrated. Same. Dr. Melgill loves my videos, by the way. He has commented one of my videos. You're so funny. I said, so thank you so much, Dr. Mel. Thank you for being such a fan. I like your work also. No, really. As a kid watching him on screen, I'm like, I don't need to rationalize anything, This guy is just trying to, spoil the whole experience, because we all love the experience of but as I grew up, I appreciated his diagnosis and whatever he has to say, because sometimes, because the mind is a very powerful thing, sometimes when things happen, and like I said, and I think I've shared this with both of them, when at the height of my mom being, talking to herself and all that, I have not ruled out the possibility of, is my mom schizophrenic? Is my mom bipolar? Is she hearing voices? Is it really voices from the spirits, or is it because of trauma and all that, right? Yeah. Because she has gone through my grandmother's death, and then she went through a divorce, and then having to take care of 4 kids and all that. So all this trauma maybe has manifested itself into something more sinister in terms of mental health, right? So I've never really said to anyone, or like say to myself, oh, my mom is just downright possessed. No, I've always tried to rationalize it with science, like maybe it's just a way of coping with things. Yeah. But of course, like I said, there is also a point of time whereby there's really no explanation, scientific explanation, and you're just left with that smoky gray area where it's just, then you just take it at face value, just take it as it is, Yeah, I would never want to dictate your life just being spiritual, I mean, it's important to be spiritual and be religious and be in touch with your religious side, but also understand that your body needs medicine. Your body needs, you need to at least do something about it.
Dr. Melgill would be so proud of you. Yeah. So proud.
He's gonna comment on this video.
We need to get him on the show, man.
I think it was last year. I think one of the videos I was dressed up as a makcik, and it was like, "You're so funny. I'm such a fan." I'm like, that's very familiar, Dr. The Incredible guy. Yeah.
Right. So this question is for everyone. If you could curse someone in a completely harmless way, what would you do? Would you curse them to lose one sock, or curse them to have something stuck in their teeth?
To lose one what?
Sock.
Oh.
Or any kind of harmless curse.
Or
I guess.
anything.
Harmless curse?
Yeah.
There's no such thing as a harmless curse. Any form of curse is going to give you some form of...
I agree. Yeah. It's not harmless, like the harm is lesser.
Yeah.
Playful, I guess.
But still, the act of cursing someone is just like, oh.
Okay, because I'm pretty sure he wrote it. So I want to ask you first.
It'll be something stupid, lah. Absolutely something stupid. So like I said, something stuck in your teeth when you're going out on a date. And that just ruins your date. Something I like how all y'all looking at me now like, oh, you're so weak. You're so weak. You with your tie.
No.
It's a harmless curse, guys.
Harmless curse.
By Thai standards, huh?
Yeah.
The incredible scale standard.
Oh, incredible scale. This is a -5.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Maybe if you ask me this as a kid, my curse is like all my teachers will give me good grades.
Oh, that's good. It's like a blessing to you.
It's a harmless curse. Yeah.
Yeah. But now I'm quite. I wouldn't wish anything for anyone now.
Same but I mean, just for the sake of fun, right? It's like every time he take out one change to put, like you will take out your spare change, like then the next time he put on the same pants, the change is still there.
Oh.
So you get very annoyed. It's like, I thought I put the change already, then you can take again. I put the change already.
And that's a good problem, man.
Yeah, you just happen to have more money.
So it's like a unlimited money curse, but then at a very annoying pace, like 5 cents. It's like, why got 5 cents again?
Nice.
Oh,
yes.
Would you do?
No, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
I wouldn't, because I believe in karma. Whatever we do to others will go back to us.
Yeah.
If we do bad things, it will go back. Bad things will happen. So yeah, if we see good things about others, good things will happen to us as well. So
Frustrating. Sometimes it's frustrating.
Yes, sometimes it's frustrating.
To not be able to do it like.
Sometimes you just want to go like. But
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well, what an
a
episode.
journey.
What a journey. But we're going to start wrapping things up. And in every episode, when we wrap things up, we wrap it up with something we like to call our morbid fact of the day.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Where Kyle will deliver always one weird, maybe dark, maybe gross fact of the day.
Nice.
Kyle, what do we have for today?
So this episode 2, so this one actually a bit far, but
Okay.
so an archaeological team opened the tomb of an Egyptian pharaoh,
Why?
Tutankhamun.
Tutankhamun.
Their sponsor basically
Tutankhamun.
died.
Yeah.
The what?
Their sponsor, part of the team,
Yeah.
basically died
Okay.
from a bacterial infection. Even though they had no evidence, the newspaper claimed that it was a curse from the pharaoh. Because the Egyptians they also like believe in the whole like life after death kind of thing. They had like the Anubis and all right.
Yeah.
So some of them they actually put a curse. Whoever passes this tomb or disturb this tomb will get cursed by the spirits or because the king the pharaoh back in the day.
Yeah.
So basically the person died lah.
Which I know is for history lessons in schools, but guys, please don't disturb dead people.
Yeah.
Leave
don't
dead
know.
people alone lah.
What might happen?
I feel like that shouldn't have to be said out loud, but apparently I guess we do. Don't disturb graves.
I mean, beyond the fact that it's disrespectful and you might awaken some spiritual things, but like what he said, like if a body is decomposed, when you expose it, like got bacteria lah, then you will.
Or maybe the pharaoh like they found like a form of virus or bacteria that they just put in the
Probably.
tomb. Whoever open, I hope they breathe in this air and then they kena.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Right.
Or maybe the pharaoh was sick before he was, being buried, and then when you open it up, it's just
Yeah.
things been
And
fested
that's Dr.
inside.
Hafidz rationale.
He's learning from the doctor. I think
The mind is a very powerful tool. His favorite line. The mind is very powerful. Okay. Interesting, huh?
Yeah. Right. So thank you so much, Hafidz, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Hafiz.
And thank you to all of you for tuning in to Tales from Incredible Tales. New episodes go up on every Thursday evening on YouTube and MeWatch and on all podcast platforms such as meLISTEN, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts.
My name is Hafiz.
My name is Wayne.
My name is Kyle.
And my name is Raihan, and we will see you next time.